Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kat, and today I am doing my May wrap-up part 1. The first book I would like to talk about is my lowest score of the month so far, and it's also the only book on this list that I haven't yet finished. So it is Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by deGrasse Tyson, who is an American astrophysicist and writer. So in this one, Tyson is talking about different astrophysics aspects that the common layperson may not know. So he talks about dark matter and dark energy and black holes and kind of the formation of the universe and what is currently happening as the universe expands and the different laws, Newton and Einstein, and how they have changed or not changed over time. So this is the Hiroshima Book Club pick, and the meeting is tomorrow. So I will be finishing it tonight, and I just wanted to include it in this video because I'm actually only giving it 3 stars, so I don't really feel like I want to wait longer to talk about it. I think Tyson at times tries to be funny, but I don't actually find him really that funny at all, and for me, it just puts me to sleep, honestly. If it wasn't Hiroshima's book club pick and I need to talk about it tomorrow, I probably would put it down. It's not a DNF, it's just absolutely not what I'm in the mood for right now. Alrighty, so the next book I want to talk about is The Year of the Hare by Arto. Paasilinna. It is translated from the Finnish, and it is about the landscape of Finland when 2 men accidentally hit a hare, and one of the men, a journalist, decides to kind of chase after the hare, and then he goes on a series of madcap adventures after that. And so I picked it up because I needed something light that I thought would be like a feel-good book, and it was. It's kind of a meandering journey about a man who wants to leave his journalism job behind, and he doesn't want to be involved with his wife anymore and the people who are kind of bogging him down and making him miserable. So he decides to live with the hare, and it's about the people that he runs into, the situations he finds himself in, and things like that. One of the things that I really loved about it was that it is feel good. Like, there's a scene where he's walking and the hare is in his pocket and you just see like the 2 little ears sticking out of the pocket, and it's so cute. And even as the hare grows older, he carries it in like a wicker basket, which again, adorable. I give it 3.5 stars because overall there didn't seem to be any sort of plot other than the inciting incident, which is where he hits the hare. So after that, he just goes around seemingly forever, and he runs into people that don't necessarily strengthen him as a person or change his outlook as a person. It's just like a series of events that are kind of funny to read about, but I don't know if I would put them as a book. They much more seem like periodicals in a newspaper or something like that. So 3.5 stars if you're looking for a really fun romp, then this would be for you. Or if you want to learn about the backwoods of Finland, it's for you. There were a lot of passages that were beautiful mailu and description of the woods, the countryside, and also the Icelands. Also, if you like rabbits, of course. Alrighty, and the next book I want to talk about is Barbed Wire Heart by Tess Sharpe, who is an American author, and this was one of my most anticipated reads of the year. So we follow Harley. I was gonna say Harley Quinn. No, it's Harley McKenna, and she is the daughter of a drug kingpin. She is going to dismantle not only her father's drug kingdom, but also the opposing drug kingdoms around her at the same time and take them all down from within. It sounds great. It sounds like a mix of the Trader Barrow Cormorant, where she wants to take down the system from being inside of it, and All the Ugly and Wonderful Things, which deals with a girl who is the daughter of a drug kingpin. This book was not what I was hoping it would be. So first, let's get into what I loved about this book. The main character, Harley McKenna, is a very strong female character, and she is very clever, and she's very fast, and she also has a lot of skill to back up her really hot-tempered mouth. So she's great with guns, and she's great with negotiations, and she's great at knowing where people's weak spots are. This leads me to my main problem with the book, which is from the very beginning, we know what she's going to do, and basically one chapter we move forward in the present day, and one chapter we move back to any part of her past, like the first time she saw someone die, first time her dad gave her a gun. And when we travel back in time, it isn't chronological, like from her earliest memories to now. It's all over the place, and that left me feeling really scattered. As well as I really didn't like the heavy-handed way in which Tess Sharpe wrote about the present events. Harley would do something and then she'd say something like, "And they'll never see what's coming next. Little did they know that this would be their downfall." Mwahahaha. It was like hearing the final monologue of the villain, even though she's supposed to be like the protagonist. I just felt like that could have been done better. So overall, I give it 3.5 stars. Alrighty, and next up is a book that I'm sure you all know very well. It is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This book was so much fun. So we follow Kaz Brecker, who is kind of the leader of this gang of kind of misfits who have different abilities and different strengths and weaknesses in the underbelly of Ketterdam, which is the kind of gritty city that they live in. And this is a heist novel. So in the beginning, we're getting to know all the characters individually and what motivates them and what drives them. So as it goes on, they get into the actual heist about 2/3 of the way in, and then it's just like madness after that. And this was one of those books where when I finished a chapter, I was like, okay, do I have work to do, because I'm gonna lose like 2 more hours if I even touch this book again. So this was the book that for the last 2 weeks, if I was really productive that day and I wanted to treat myself, then I would read this book. I give it 4 stars overall because of mainly 3 reasons. So the first reason is these characters are supposed to be 17. That is just bananas. Like, if you have read this, there's no way most of these characters are remotely that 17 years old. Like, the only one I believed was that young was the runaway. So everyone else, I was like, no effing way. Like, that's impossible. So first off, just you have to suspend your disbelief with that, because there's no way that that is a thing. Secondly, a lot of things were very coincidental, like the way that some of the main characters escape from the heist in the end. I'm talking about the thing that moves. That was totally disbelievable, unbelievable. I don't think that would happen. But I'm willing to let it go because, again, I want to see them succeed and I want to just be with the characters more. To my third thing, which is that I saw most of the things that happened in this book coming like a long ways off. As soon as something was mentioned, I was like, oh, that's coming back. But on the good side, some of the things in this book that I didn't catch were really cleverly done and really like subtly sewn in to the narrative. So overall I gave this 4 stars. However, I so highly enjoyed it that I immediately asked my husband to pick up the sequel, which is Crooked Kingdom, from his school's library. So I'm going to be reading that like next week. So I really enjoyed it. It does have flaws, but the flaws really didn't damper my overall enjoyment of it. And if you haven't read it, it is super hyped for a good reason. Go ahead and pick it up. It's amazing. So next up we have The Wolf Road by Beth Lewis, who is an English writer. And in this one we follow Elka, who was lost in the woods as a child, and she was taken in by a man that she calls Trapper, and who largely was her father throughout childhood. And he traps animals in the woods to sell their pelts and eat the meat to survive pretty much on a homestead cabin in the wilderness. Until one day when Elka goes into the city and sees that the man she knows as Trapper is wanted as a criminal. So she goes to warn him, ask him, and he flees, and she takes off after him, and they are also being hunted by kind of the backwoods sheriff, and things go from there. So this book is really good. So some of the things that I absolutely adored about this book are that Elka is so strong, and in a really believable way, because she has a lot of physical strength and backwoods skills, yet she is shown in cities to be really out of her depth, and I really loved that. So she's not just strong and cunning all of the time. Like when she's in a city setting, when she's chasing Trapper, for instance, or when she needs medicine, she doesn't know how to interact, and she doesn't know like about the system of using money, or that paper actually means something, like the deed to a piece of land, because she's never had to deal with that before. So she's shown to be really strong and really weak at the same time, as well as the way she comes to terms with revelations that she knows about her parents, her grandmother, Trapper himself, the world around her, was really interesting to read, and it was like a slow drip. I would say that this is a slow burn novel even though you find out the plot twist of the novel in the very beginning, at least I did, it was absolutely brutal because Elka doesn't realize it until the very end. And the whole time, like, when she does certain actions, it just compounds it. And I'm just like, oh my god, no! Like, Elka, no! I'm not sure of the exact setting of it. It is in, like, a Gold Rush era time where we've also already had a nuclear fallout fight with, like, Canada, America, and Russia. So there are nuclear weapons that were dropped, but also everyone is, like, doing the Gold Rush still and living in the backwoods. So it's very, like, the setting itself is kind of mysterious, and they call it the Big Stupid, like when people were fighting each other with weapons. So if you're looking for a book that is kind of like my absolute darling, but at a slower pace and set in the backwoods up, I believe, in Canada or Alaska, then this would be for you. I really do recommend it, and I was shook at the ending. So next up is a book that has been really praised by so many booktubers, and it is The Humans by Matt Haig, who is an English writer. And in this one we follow an alien who has come to Earth and taken over the body of a mathematics professor who has recently discovered a very important formula, and he has solved it, and that will lead to a lot of advancements in human technology and intergalactic space travel. So the aliens from afar realize that humans can't be allowed to have that technology because they're not ready, so the alien comes to kind of find out who knows about it and see what he can do to salvage the situation. But largely the reason this book is so good is because the alien is so funny. Like, he doesn't know anything, so he has to learn by experience. So, like, how to wear clothes and what people look like and how people act. And it quickly transforms from something that is a kind of alien human comedy to something that gets very serious and very heartfelt about what it means to be human and what the real strengths of humanity are. Yeah, we have our downfalls, we're violent, and we lie and we cheat, but also there are so many things that make us amazing as a race. And I thought this book was really heartfelt and really good, and I couldn't put it down. It was a great read. So overall, I gave it 4 stars. Okie dokie, and we have made it to the last book. So I give it 4.5 stars overall, and it is The Light of the Fireflies by Paul Penn, who is a writer from Spain, and the Spanish was translated to English. So if you are someone that can't handle a lot of dark elements, this book is not for you. Please don't read it. I have a full review, non-spoiler, of course, up of this book, and I will leave it linked down below. So I'm going to mention just one thing that I forgot to mention in the video of the review, and that is that I think that the tone the author was going for in the end is one tone, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't agree with what happened in the end, but overall I think that the book is a really strong and powerful look at family and a lot of what humans can endure. So I recommend it if you're into really dark things. So the way that I said was that it is like if you took The Room and you added it to The Dumb House. So you have reached the end of my May wrap-up part 1. If you've read any of these books, please do let me know what you think. I am really excited about the next week or so of reading because it is Scallywagathon, and I am going to film my TBR for that after this. So please look out for that, and I am looking forward to talking to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumb up or hit the subscribe button. It would really mean a lot, and I will chat to you guys later. Bye! See you!